Hey, do you want some tips for an inspiring home office? Yes, we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today we're going to talk about productivity, which is all about automating everything, creating the perfect workspace, even if you work out of a home office or your kitchen table, or maybe even it's your car. We're going to talk about that today. If you want to automate all the details of your business and you want to keep lots of the clutter away, check out housecallpro.com/Angela. This is a software service that goes to service professionals like house cleaners. And so you keep all of your customer information, you keep the times and all of your scheduling inside the software app. It's on your phone, it's wherever you go. When a customer texts you, that information stays on your phone. When you get ready to invoice them, all the information is right there. When you go to click out with a one-click credit card processing, at the end of the day, when you're closing out your inventory for the day, it's all right there on your phone. Super, super easy to use and incredibly affordable. So check it out at housecallpro.com/Angela. And there's somebody waiting there to walk you on a personal demo on how it can work for you. There's no obligation whatsoever, so check it out. All right, on to today's show. This is a super exciting topic because as house cleaners, we work all day. Then we get home, maybe we have a home office, maybe we have an office somewhere that we're renting, or maybe we're just working out of our car. But there are certain things you can do to make that space more inviting and more inspirational, so you want to go in and finish up your details of the day. So joining us today is a house cleaner, and she's a multilingual house cleaner with multifaceted business. This is Vanessa Higgins from Clean Tu Casa, and she does house cleaning, and they do office cleaning, and then they also do Airbnb. So they have a wide variety of things that they work on, and the home office is super important. Now, I'll give you a heads up. Before starting her house cleaning business, Vanessa worked in corporate America for 20 years, and she worked with major corporations like Delta Airlines and Ernst & Young, figuring out all the different nuances of the office spaces to help you feel inspired and be more productive and all that stuff. So she not only brings the house cleaning angle, but she brings the corporate America angle. And these guys spent thousands of dollars and years of research to find the perfect combination. And she's got all the smarts stored in her head. So she's going to share that with us today. So without further ado, please help me welcome the amazing Vanessa Higgins.
Again, Vanessa with Clean Tu Casa in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here to help you out and your viewers with some office cleaning tips.
Well, we are super excited that you've joined us today. And I know that there are a lot of cleaning business owners and they clean all day and then they come back to even their own office spaces, whether it's inside a building that they rent or inside their home. And it's just kind of a mess. There's invoices everywhere. There are notes to themselves, there are post-it notes, there are calendars, rescheduling, all kinds of stuff going on. How do you recommend that we create a tidy and inspiring workspace for our cleaning business owners?
I know we all can relate to that. While we're cleaning other places, ours tends to get either overcrowded with clutter or not as in an organized fashion as you'd like it to be. So with the smaller offices, I do recommend that whether it's just yourself or if it's just a small group of employees that you may have on hand, one thing that I highly recommend is make them feel like a part of the process in cleaning up. Getting clean mind is free of clutter, right? So, and you feel a little bit more productive in that way. One thing that you can do is either dedicate the first 10 minutes of your time in the day just to kind of make the desk look orderly and tidy and kind of set your agenda for the day. It kind of helps set the pace. You could either do that in the front end or on the back end just to get ready for the following day. That's one little exercise that you can do. A little bit deeper would be I would recommend maybe once a month, just having like a cleanup party. Put on some good music and all of you get together and make sure that you're cleaning out either the drawers, making sure that the office equipment is nice and clean and dusted. Keep disinfectant wipes on hand. Those are great for just tidying up and making sure that you don't have those lunches at the computer, debris that may be nearby. You can keep that all clean and sanitized. I think involving it as a team or even as yourself, it just really helps to kind of set the pace to make sure that you're keeping things organized and more productive for your team.
Now, I know that you worked in corporate America for about 20 years and you helped organizations with their space and what have you. Is there anything that you learned that we can kind of borrow from them for our own workspaces?
It was interesting because I went through 2 of the major renovations for Ernst& and Young and for Delta, and it was a lot of months of research that went into those renovations to try to make the space look a little bit more inviting, productive, and inspiring. One thing that was done first was that I could recommend that any of us do, even if it's for your bedroom closet, is to kind of reassess what you have in your space and gather everything, take everything out of cabinets, out of drawers, put it out into a big pile just so you can see it and start separating it into 3 different piles either. And that's something that each organization, both at Delta and at Ernst& Young, they asked us to do is make sure that you're keeping a pile that's just for keeping. And that keeping pile would be those items that you need on a daily and weekly basis and file for like archiving. Maybe you don't need it all the time, but you may need to access it once a month or every other month or so, and a pile just for junk or donation. That's pretty much a great sentiment to go into any kind of organization type of decluttering, if you will. And I think with that, you start to assign a designated area for paper clips, for staplers, all these different items that you need to kind of really make sure that you're not thinking too hard. Where did I put this particular file? Or everything has an assigned area. So that was something that both organizations really tried to hone in on and create as a culture. Other things that they looked at was lighting. Lighting makes a big difference in a place. If those bright lights tend to be a little bit too much and creating a very inspiring workplace. So in keeping the space tidy, you if you have a little bit more of a dimmer light, offer a chance to keep your eyes focused and not hurt so much onto the screen or what you're doing. So you have enough light to be able to actually write what you're doing. But that actually helps to just keep a nice ambiance. It's a little bit more motivating. Some other factors that I would recommend would be each one had a clean desk policy, and they were moving all towards less paper and more electronic. And that makes a big difference when it comes to offices. I know most of us are using different softwares and automations to try to make us work more efficiently. Well, try to also do that with your paper trail as well, because paper can just accumulate as soon as you get mail in. You want to make sure that you're throwing away mail that may not be useful so it doesn't start to collect and create a beautiful stacked wall to tighten up your space. But really limiting how much paper is coming in and coming out of the office does actually help to keep things more organized. And if you're able to add any kind of paper onto an electronic type of form, like a business card. Instead of keeping a stack of business card, there's apps out there to keep business cards on file electronically. All these different type of tools that you could find to keep things organized and orderly, but not necessarily all on top of your desk.
Well, that also sounds like it would help the homeowners that are house cleaners that are working from maybe their kitchen table. So they go clean houses all day, they come home, they drop their cleaning supplies, and they go to their kitchen table, and that's also their workspace. And so
Yes,
having
that happened.
having your papers moved to an electronic format seems like it would clean everything up and still give you the space that you need for your family instead of just turning your whole house then into a kind of an office.
Look into Google Drive. The whole Google suite is actually a really great product for home business owners and home business operators. So I think they've really started to change the game for us in trying to keep things more electronic. If you are like me, you're old school. You like to have things written down. I'm still that way myself, but I try to always keep everything in one place. I've reduced everything to this one little Bible, if you will. These are all my notes, and everything else is electronic. It really tries to keep things more productive for myself.
Well, as a house cleaner myself, I have used a checklist for so many years that now my to-do list every day is literally a checklist, and I just walk through my life and I check stuff off as I go. And so
Oh, that's smart.
mine is not a fancy workbook. Mine is just a checklist on a clipboard, but hey,
Hey, that works too. It does make a difference when it's right in front of you.
yeah. And I love the apps though. I love the technology because when I started my cleaning business, we did not have the technology. And so now we have the technology and we can move to a paperless office and we can get rid of a lot of that clutter that kind of consumes your kitchen table or your office workspace or the sides of your workspace or the sides of your chair or wherever they pile up.
Right. I tell you what, when I started out the cleaning business and I was using first a paper calendar to write all my appointments in, and then it eventually moved to Google Calendar, and that was just driving me nuts. I started having pieces of paper everywhere, and I had to come and find a different means to create a business that I could understand just from one screen. And that ended up being for me, it was ZenMaid, but there's so many great ones out there. There's Launch 27, Jobber. I mean, the list goes on. But like anything, you're going to find apps that will help you to really make things more simplified for your life, and to focus on other priorities. Which really, in the end, for us cleaners, it goes down to sales, marketing, and training, just to make sure that we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing at our clients' houses.
And you've given us some great tips to make sure that our office space is clean and orderly so that we can focus on those most important things that you just mentioned. Tell us before we leave where our listeners can get in touch with you. And if they want to hire you to have you come in and clean their home offices, how do they get in touch with you to do that?
Thanks, Angela. They could reach us at clean2casa.com, and feel free to reach out if I can help address any other questions that anyone may have.
Alrighty, and that was Vanessa Higgins with Clean Tu Casa. And I'm going to leave links in the show notes to everything that we talked about and a couple of other things that might help you in the organization of getting your home office in a place where it's neat and tidy and super efficient. All right, now also I want you to leave notes for me below and let me know, are there any tips that you learned today that you're going to use? Or what are you doing in your home office to make it more efficient and effective and tidy and all that stuff? So let's start a conversation because I think that would be super cool. All right, if you found this helpful, please pass it on to a friend. And if we've earned your subscription, please subscribe. And until we meet again, you know it, it's coming. Leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.